Hello and welcome to another episode of the Mikkel Show. We're still here at the new campsite, the new building grounds, and let's just take a look around. And oh, that's Wilson. Well, shouldn't he be building? This is weird. Let's head into first person. Oh, by the way, I have a sword on my back. I don't know why, because I don't have it on in my inventory. Wilson, shouldn't you be up there building? Oh, okay. Well, let's go check it out then. Watch out for the fire. It burns. And here we have it, the new studio. I have the power of flight, so let's use it. Studio 13. That's right. This is the new studio. And if you think this just looks like a big concrete block, well, to be fair, most TV studios, is actually from the outside concrete blocks or wooden structures. It's what's on the inside that really counts. But yeah, this is my new studio, Studio 13, as you can read. So let's take a look inside. Got some very loud doors. They're not still affected. And here you see this part of the studio is still pretty empty. But over here we do have some things that you can see right here. We have the Bob and Frank in the corner. And if it seems like we stuck Bob back in a minecart, it is just an illusion. That's just oh hey, it's a chair for operating the camera. Hey Bob. No, it's YouTube. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, whatever. As you can see, this is my fine little camera. My studio right here. This is where the magic happens. And over here we have, this is the movie part. This is the movie set where I go when I talk about the movie of the week. Looking cool. It lags a bit. That's because this is a big room. Over here we have like a small kitchen area. And the makeup area. You can see there's a mirror right here for makeup, stuff like that. That seems a little perverse, that picture. I know it's supposed to be a creeper, but yeah. Hey Frank. Oh, okay. Now the thing with Frank is that he says random things, but just randomly, but sometimes there might be some truth to what he's saying. So I think we're gonna just get away from him. But yeah, this is the new studio. Here we have some control things for controlling things, you know. This is a TV studio. You control things. So yeah. This is still pretty much inside under construction, but you know, things are looking good. We can look out there. There's a nice view. Oh, there's a sheep with a hat on. That's a hard hat. It's one of the workers who worked on the building, I think. That wouldn't surprise me at all. So yeah, let's get on with the show. Still got a sword on my back. Don't know why. I don't have one in my inventory. It's kind of weird. But yeah, so this is the new Mikkel Frost Show studio. So let's get to the gaming corner. And yeah, the game I have chosen to review today is a classic from 1994, Rise of the Triad. It has recently been remade, but I haven't tried that one, so I'm only gonna stick to the 1994 version created by Apogee. For those of you who don't know it, it's a first-person shooter which has a little bit of Nazis, a little bit of robots, and a little bit of cultish monks. It seems kind of weird, and that is because it is a weird game. Now there's a backstory to this actually. Apogee, back in the days, actually released a lot of the early id Soft games, including Wolfenstein and some other games as well. So, as it started work on Doom, they hired Apogee to make Wolfenstein 2. So Apogee started working on that naturally. Then all of a sudden it decided that they would no longer publish their game through Apogee. Kind of a douchebag move, if you ask me. Uh, but so that also meant that Apogee had to stop working on uh, Wolfenstein 2. So they had a lot of weird stuff left over. So they put it aside for a bit, started working on some other things. But then they decided to make use of the things they had left from when they worked on Wolfenstein 2, and that became the weirdness that is Rise of the Triad. It's an amazing game, and I think a lot of the time a very overlooked game. When you see the like those top lists of the best first-person shooters, best gaming weapons, especially because this game had some really interesting weapon. It focused a lot on missile weapons, and I think it was a little. I think it was way ahead of its time. It had heat-seeking missiles. It had like drunk missiles that shot out 5 missiles that pretty much just flew in random order, and other missile weapons. They also had a weapon called the Excalibur, which was a baseball bat that really powerful baseball bat. You could use it to hit, or if you held in the button, it would actually shoot out a lot of baseballs in all directions. A really powerful weapon. Some other cool stuff about the game was that you could turn into a dog. There was an actual game mode, without a guard mode. I mean, without you had to use cheats. You turned into a guard, and all other sort of craziness. The levels were filled with death traps, which was spinning blades, lava pillars, and all other weird stuff. It's an amazing game. If you haven't tried it, try it out. Like I said, I haven't tried the new one, but I would recommend you trying out the old one before trying the new one. Rise of the Triad from 1994 is a classic. It's a true and almost forgotten gem. Because, like I said, I feel that it does get a bit overlooked. So yeah, Rise of the Triad is a I have it somewhere lying around from back in '94 where I bought it. Although I'm not even sure if I can run it on a modern system. But who knows? Maybe Good Old Games has made a re-release of it. I'm not even sure. Let's hope they have. If they have, buy it. It's worth whatever they're charging. Trust me, it's worth it. So that has been the gaming corner for this week. And that moves us to today's topic. And I thought, since the studio, my new studio has now been built, and we are producing again, well, I thought I'd talk about something like television. And I'm gonna talk about different things, like my experiences with television, and why I don't watch television anymore. Let's start off by saying that back when I was a child, there was only one Danish television station. All other television stations we had were like foreign. We had some Swedish, some German. We had two really cool TV stations, which were my favorite. That was the Super Channel and Sky Channel. I don't even think they exist anymore. I think Sky was like maybe turned into some kind of a Sky Network, Sky Sports, Sky News, Sky One, and stuff like that. But back then there was only Sky Channel and really awesome cartoons. I remember watching like Transformers and G.I. Joe and Mask and Brave Star and stuff like that. And it wasn't like dubbed in Danish like most cartoons is these days. It was like the original English, and that actually helped me learn the English language because I wasn't like so basically that's why that's how I learned English. That was from watching like morning cartoons in English rather than watching them in Danish, as most Danish kids do now. So like and then a couple in the late 80s, early 90s, Denmark got another TV station called TV2, and I think they started showing like cartoons in the morning. I really can't remember. It's been ages, but we later got another channel called TV3, and then so on, and basically we have a lot of channels now. I don't even know how many Danish channels there are anymore, and because, like I said, I don't really watch TV. Um, Used to watch a lot of movies on television because in Danish TV, most Danish TV television channels show like big movies and stuff like that. I know a lot of, I think a lot of the U.S. channels, unless you have cable, they don't really show that many movies, and if they do, they're not really the newest movies. They're mostly like made for TV movies. That might just be me. That might be wrong, but that's the thing I felt. I've been to the States, and when I tried searching for movies and looking through TV guides, there weren't really any movies unless it was channels like HBO and stuff like that. But in Denmark, we had like pretty much all of the channels showed movies, although they did seem to show the same movies over and over again, like the TV3 and its sister channel 3 Plus. I think there was a year they showed twins. Between them, they showed twins like 12 times in a year. It's not really a great movie, so why the hell do you want to show it like 12 times? And yeah, so I think that's not basically every TV channel that shows movies. They show the same movies, they buy the rights, and then they pretty much use the movie until they cannot use it anymore. And you don't really see like the more interesting movies never came in TV, and they never really came on. There was a channel called TV2 Sulu. They showed some really interesting channels when they some not interesting channels, really interesting movies when they just came out. But then they started like making mostly just bad comedy and comedy shows and stuff like that. And really, the interesting movies they showed a lot of, they kind of disappeared. They used to, when they first came out, it was like some cult movies and stuff like that. And that was cool because that had never been like in a thing that was in Danish television. So that was pretty cool. But they stopped that pretty fast, unfortunately. So, but and I soon realized that if I wanted to see some good movies, I had to go buy them or go rent them, because the really great movies, the interesting movies, the lesser known movies didn't get shown in TV, because that's the thing with television. They not really they don't really like taking chances. They You can see that with a lot of US television series like Freaks and Geeks, Firefly, Jericho. They were all cancelled after the first season. All of them, if given a chance, would probably have become a really popular show, which they did. Sorry, they did become very popular after they were cancelled, but that was pretty much too late then. And that's the same thing with, I think, television all over the world. They don't like taking chances, and that goes for movies. So movies, if they're not really that known, or maybe a little uh, weird or strange, or maybe old, they don't really show those kind of movies on television. I quickly learned that, and so that was one of the reasons I stopped watching TV, basically because the good movies weren't there, and movies were being rerun over and over again. We had a Danish movie channel which basically reran movies constantly. They bought the rights for a movie, and then you'd pretty much see that movie for for entire months. They would show it like 3 or 4 times a week, but at different times, at different like times of the day. So that was kind of lame, in my opinion. if you want a movie channel, let's have a lot of different movies. There's like, I mean, I've seen 5,000 movies, and that's not even 1% of all the movies ever made. So there's no need to rerun the same few movies over and over again. But that's pretty much what television does. The same goes for TV series. The Danish channel called TV2, they've been rerunning Friends ever since Friends started. And they're still doing it, I think. I don't know. I don't watch TV. Thank God for that. But yeah, reruns has always been something TV was very, very good at. Another reason I stopped watching TV was commercials. It was really horrible. I know it must be worse for the people in the US. They had like in a normal TV series and an episode of that they have like what 3 commercial breaks. In Denmark we only had one. If it was on some of the more commercial channels, we had a channel totally without commercials, but then again it did say this is sponsored by, and that kind of makes it a commercial channel. And we had a channel that only showed commercials between shows, but we had a couple of channels as well that took a break in the show. And I was like, I really don't like commercials because I don't get affected by them. I just get annoyed, and that's the thing about commercials. If we look at it like really black and white, there are 2 types of people that get affected by commercials. One, people like me who don't really get affected the way, I mean, we don't go out buying stuff because we see it in a commercial. Oh yeah, I need that because I've seen a commercial. So we just get annoyed. The other part is the people that are like more, I don't know, I don't want to say weak-minded, but they are, I guess in some point they are more weak-minded. They see something, and because some celebrity is saying, oh yeah, you need this deodorant, or some supermodel is saying you need this car, people go out and buy it. And that's exploiting people's weaknesses. So basically what commercials do, seeing if we look at it black and white, like they either annoy people or exploit people. How the fuck can this be legal? I hate commercials, and I hate being forced to watch commercials. And that's pretty much another thing television does. They really, really love commercial. And of course, that is how they get their money. But I would rather go out and pay money for a TV series or some movies, rather instead of having to than watching them free and then being forced to watch commercials. Because if you buy stuff, buy the movies, buy the TV series, you can pretty much watch them whenever you want. I think some TV channels are actually doing that, and I know, of course, there's the internet with Netflix and stuff like that, where you can watch things whenever you want instead of being forced by television to like watch at a certain time. Another good reason not to watch TV, you are controlled by it. You have to like, oh yeah, my shows are on, and it's like, oh yeah, wow. I never understood that. I don't really think I've ever been. And when I was a kid, there were certain shows I saw at certain times, but as an adult, I never been controlled by television. I knew when things were on, and I would turn it on and watch it when it was on. But it was not like I had to hurry home to see a certain thing, or just to constantly make sure that I wasn't missing things. I, I don't know. The only thing I watch on television these days is the Oscars. Actually, this year my television is broken, so I had to watch it online. But other than that, I don't even have have any channels on my television. I use it to watch movies and to watch TV series and stuff like that on DVD and Blu-ray. I actually just bought my very first Blu-ray. Um, but yeah, television has also just become a lot of reality shows, and I've never really given a shit about those reality shows, whether it be stuff like Big Brother and Survivor, or things like uh, Honey Boo Boo. Is that what it's called? I don't even know. Or stuff like X Factor or American Idol or Danish Idol and stuff like that. It's like people get addicted to those things. I just don't get it. I hear when I'm at school or at work and stuff like that, I always hear people talking about X Factor or Survivor or Big Brother or whatever reality show is on the TV at the moment. And it's like the thing is, it's not even reality. It's quite the opposite. It has nothing to do with reality. Like people, Big Brother is a bunch of people selected for being interesting, locked in a house, and pretty much have to do certain tasks. Survivor, it has nothing to do with survival. You want real survivor? Put some people on an island, tell them to pretty much just survive. But no, it has to be like, oh yeah, you have to do this task, you have to run this obstacle course, and then we'll give you some rice. Wow, thank you. And X Factor and stuff like that. That's just, I mean, how many people has actually gotten famous from that? I mean, there's a few. I know. One Direction, unfortunately. Um, but other than that, you don't really see people like Kelly Clarkson got famous as well. I actually like some of her music. Not really my style in music, but it's better than most other shit out there. I don't even know if she's famous anymore. I don't listen to popular music. Um, Not because it's popular, but mostly because most of what is popular music is, in my opinion, my personal opinion, just crap. Um, Other television shows like showing off fat people or young mothers or people with some problems and stuff like that. It's showing the worst of the worst. We have a TV show called The Young Mothers in Denmark. I haven't really seen it. I've heard people talk about it, and I've seen commercials for it and stuff like that. But it's pretty much showing you the bad mothers. It's not saying, oh yeah, this young woman is an excellent mother. Because no one want to see that. They want to see the people who are struggling. They want to see the people who are bad at being mothers, or bad at being that job, or living like a slob. That rhymed. Or stuff like that. We're not seeing. They don't make a television show about people who are living a life and having success at that job and having a nice family. Because it doesn't sell. People want to see other people fail. It's the same with YouTube. The videos where people get hurt is pretty much some of the most successful ones. It's kind of disturbing, to be honest. So that's another reason not to watch television. Reality shows, which has nothing to do with reality. Then we have the news shows. Now, for people living in the US, that's like the worst thing to watch because their networks are controlled by interest rather than facts. Fox News being the worst, and I know there's some other television stations as well, but most of the television stations, the news shows on US TV, is influenced by politics from the owners of the station, and this is not some kind of conspiracy theory or this is real. This has been proven. There's been tons of lawsuits, which of course the news studios win because they have money. And you know what they say? Money is what makes the world go round, unfortunately. Danish television is they are influenced by the owners of the stations, but not as much. But it is boring as hell to watch news and because there's always gonna be like one of those. Oh yeah, now you have to see what our queen has done lately, and it's like, I would get most of my news from Facebook, actually. If something is really important, there's at least one or two or more of my friends that post something about it, and you can then go read in an article rather than having to sit through an entire news show where maybe two or three of the stories is something you want to know about, and maybe even none. So, news on the television really isn't anything either. Let's talk about a channel that I used to love, MTV. Back in the 80s and 90s, and I think even the early 2000s, I loved MTV. We had music, great music. The 90s were amazing because you could turn on the TV to MTV in the middle of the afternoon, and you would hear stuff like Pantera, Sepultura, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Beck, Björk, Faith No More, Red Hot Chili Peppers back when they were good, and all the really good music. Then a couple of years later, when there was still music on MTV, then they removed all of the good music, and which only came like late at night. Now MTV is like, oh yeah, reality. Oh, let's try a little later then. Oh, reality shows. Let's try a little later. Oh, more reality shows. Should name it RTV, reality TV, and that would be, oh wow, reality TV. That would be the lie. But yeah, MTV don't have any bloody music on it, and when they do, it's like Lady Gaga and pretty much the same few musicians. It's the same with radio. You turn on the radio and there's like this song that you'll just hear like 5 or 6 times during the day. It's the same with MTV. VH1. I haven't watched VH1 in ages, but the last thing I remember, they were going close to what MTV is. So music TV isn't really worth it anymore either. So yeah, my pretty much the point of this is television. That's pretty much crap. If you want to watch a movie, buy it, rent it, watch it online. If you want to watch a TV series, do the same. If you want to news, you could read on the internet. Who needs TV when you have DVDs, Blu-rays, YouTube, streaming, stuff like that? TV is, you can control what you see on TV and when you see it. You're forced to watch commercial and other forms of advertisements during like sponsored by and stuff like that. But if you just rent, buy, stream, I would even go as far as say pirate. I didn't say that. But yeah, TV is a thing of the past. Please, people, just let it die already. Join me in a new age where culture is something you control, not something you are. I don't know where I was going with that, to be honest. But yeah, the future is DVD, streaming, Blu-ray, YouTube, stuff like that, where you control what you watch and when you watch it, and aren't necessarily forced to watch commercials. I even like to pay extra for a movie or a TV series rather than watching it on TV. I mean, I'd pay for TV. We have a government like forced payment in Denmark, which is kind of lame. But I think that's it for this subject. It was a little chaotic, sorry about that. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, and I've said it already, I hate TV. I don't watch it. I used to, but that was before all these new mediums, medias? Yeah, was available. Before YouTube was available, before DVDs got cheap, before online streaming. This is the future. Embrace it, celebrate it, and so on. But yeah, let's go over to my little corner over here. Maybe I should go into first person. That would be a lot easier. Oh, Hard getting back here. Well, this looks good. This is the first time I've actually stood in this corner in like this. This is a nice little thing. So yeah, these things on the wall is of course supposed to be movie posters. I think it looks pretty good. Um, oh, the texture pack, by the way, is I've forgotten what the texture pack is called. But if someone in the audience knows, please write it if anybody asks. It's a really cool, pretty cool texture pack. I like it. I'm just gonna take a sip of water. Excuse me. Movie of the week. Now, I haven't actually seen any movies the past week. I've been busy with other stuff, my birthday and hanging out with friends and watching YouTube. I've seen some TV series and stuff like that. So I haven't really had any time to watch movies. So instead, I'm gonna talk about a movie that I've bought during the last week. And that movie is a movie that, in my opinion, is one of the scariest movies of all time. It's the Blair Witch Project. The Blair Witch Project, and some people probably would say that it's not scary, and that's just their opinion. I've heard people say that Paranormal Activity was scary and that Saw is scary. Those are movies that I laugh at. Not laugh at as in they're funny, but laugh at how crappy they are. Wait, what? Excuse me? Is there a sheep in here? I can hear a sheep. Is it? I think it's outside. Excuse me. Sheep? I can... Is there a sheep on the roof? No? I don't know. Anyway, excuse me. But yeah, the Blair Witch Project is, in my opinion, an amazing movie. The thing that makes it scary is actually that it's so that there isn't really much happening, and and that's what makes it scary. You never know when something scary will come. If you look at a movie like Paranormal Activity, which is clearly ripping off the success that Blair Witch got, in Paranormal Activity there's something happening all the time, so you don't really get scared. Blair Witch is made realistically. You feel that this could be a real movie about real people going out to the woods with a camera, which of course they actually did. But I mean, it just feels realistic because there's not. You don't really see that much supernatural things in it. You see people disappear. You hear people. I won't spoil the movie, but I feel that movie was well done, and the marketing campaign for that movie was one of the best ever, because it was, for those of you who don't know, Blair Witch Project was a POV, point of view, lost footage kind of movie. When it came out, people actually said, these people went out to the woods and disappeared. We found this footage, and it was so well done that people all over the world believed it. Now, to be honest, when I first watched the movie, I knew that it was a fake, but I still felt that it was real because it was made so cheap, and that was what really was the selling point of the movie. It was what made that movie great. It was what made it scary. They made a sequel for the movie, which sucks. So don't watch that. If you have the opportunity to watch it for free, I'll say go ahead just to see how much it sucks compared to the original. But yeah, the first movie really was amazing. That sheep is really bothering me. But yeah, I think that was movie of the week for now. Let's head over to... Oh, God. There's a bit of a lag here. Let's head over to my studio. There's the sheep. What the hell does it have on its head? I have the hat mod on this server, on this game, so I think that's a face hugger or something. Anyway, face crap, head crap. Anyway, let's move on to the next part of the show. Shut the fuck up, sheep. The next part is, of course, the spotlight. Now, I've chosen something that actually has a lot to do with both of the subjects today, which is movie and television. It is raining. Luckily, I now have a studio with a roof, so I don't get wet, but it's a little loud. I hope that you can hear me over this. But the spotlight of this week is a big channel. They have like I think a million or a couple of million subscribers, I'm not really sure. It's Screen Junkies, which is mostly known, which is what I know them for, is for their honest trailers. For those of you who don't know, they make movie trailers where they really just, instead of making an advertisement for the movie, as trying to sell the movie, they're just deadly honest about what to expect in the movie. And that is really, really extremely funny. They make some other stuff too, I'm not really sure what, because I haven't watched it, to be honest. But Screen Junkies, honest trailers, can't go wrong with that. They've recently started making some honest game trailers as well for Smosh Games. Not a great channel, but that might be another spotlight. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. Hope you like this new show, this new studio. This is not a new show, but it's a new, kind of new. Some new topics, some new parts of the show, new studio. Let's just take a look at the studio again. As you can see right here. So it's a little empty still, but we just moved in. So, yeah. Remember to like, comment if you have anything to say, any questions. Subscribe to my channel. And check out some of my other videos. Because, why not? And I'll see you next Tuesday for more The Mikkel Frost Show. And I'll see you tomorrow for more gaming. Bye.